Alrighty, so there we are. So I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with the stars of the film, whether it's, their stage names or the names they used for the movies. All I can do to distinguish them is by their outfits.
I'm not. I'm not terribly familiar with them myself, but that's not saying too much. I watch a little drag, like Dragula, RuPaul, but other than that, I'm not terribly knowledgeable. Let's put it with
Yeah.
the drag communities and the celebrities.
Yeah, it's not something I'm super up on. I don't have access to be able to view it, so I don't watch RuPaul, but I love watching Dragula.
Yeah, I know they're not from Dragula. Well,
Yeah,
let me rephrase that. I'm pretty sure they're not from Dragula. If they are,
I would have recognized someone.
yeah, I'm sure I'm behind, but still.
Yeah. I mean, and for me, I don't know if it was the same for you. It's marketed as a horror comedy, and I'm watching this thing, and I only laughed at one scene. The rest of it, I really didn't think it was funny.
It's a little hit or miss as far as the comedy is concerned for me. There were a few things that I thought were kind of clever. A couple of things that were genuinely amusing to me. I mean, I wasn't bored while watching
No,
it, but no, the comedy is a little thin.
yeah, I'm used to a little more comedy when they say horror comedy.
Yeah, I know people were mentioning that this was. We have a tendency, I think, as horror fans in particular, to compare things to other well established and loved things. So I
Yeah.
was essentially given the impression this was From Dusk Till Dawn with drag.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought too. I think I even described it to you, and I mean
Yeah.
it wasn't super ha ha. I thought it was clever, but they even referenced Dust Till Dawn. They called it that fetish foot movie.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Yeah, I mean it's fairly clever.
Yeah,
Until somebody
there's
said From Dust Till Dawn, it didn't click. I'm like, fetish foot movie. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
same. Yeah, if it's you got to narrow that one down. There's more than I'm sure I'm aware of. We got to be
Yeah.
specific.
No, I mean I love watching lifestyle films as well. I've gotten away from reviewing those, but yeah, those are definitely ones I like looking for also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the only real thing that made me laugh, even though it wasn't funny, but it was just the fact that it was, I guess, tacky, was I don't know her name, the one with the blue wig. How rude.
Ooh, let us look on Letterboxd for assistance.
Yeah, but I know she like quote unquote came back from the dead,
Yeah,
and then she
Bella.
steps on the guy's, yeah, Bella, she steps on the guy's chest with her 6 inch heel, and I had a chuckle at that, even though it was pretty obvious what was going to happen.
Yeah, I was. Mm, I don't know if I would say thrown off, but a little like, okay. When they killed her, for one, I thought, wow, okay, that's a pretty bold move. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, they brought her back, and it became I don't know what the exact phrase is. Maybe retroactive in a way. That they
Retro, what do you call it? Retcon.
yes, that's it. Closer. We were closer with that. Yes. Um, but they pulled one of those with the whole yeah, Bella she got killed. Wow, what a shock. Okay, later on she's back. Why? Because she got bit and you didn't see it, but we're gonna show you now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fine. What? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like totally left field though, but I enjoyed Bella's bondage outfit. Crawling through what was it, the air
Air ducts.
system. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
air ducts. And it's kind of like, you've got nice butt cheeks and leg tone. Wow.
I mean, work it, darling, work it. Her hair as
Yeah, I
well
mean, if you got
that
it,
was a
flaunt it.
weapon. Yes, that was a weapon on its own. Her wig right there.
Yeah.
Just pull a Will
Yeah.
Smith and use that as a whip.
I forgot about that.
You're welcome for having that stuck in your head. Goodbye.
No, I was thinking more, oh, what is her name? She's on the WWE wrestling, and she always, Bianca Belair, she always has that huge braid.
Well,
And there was the time that she finally, like whiplashed someone with it, and I'm like, that took a lot longer, Liu Kang.
Training, I guess, neck muscle training. I don't know.
Not Liu Kang, but what's that dude's name? The guy from Bloodsport, Tung Pao or so Tung Po, and he has that huge braid also.
I plead the fifth. I know nothing about wrestling.
Oh, okay. Well, I also went into Van Damme. I don't know if I just kind of went off on myself there.
There are a lot of fans and appreciators of Van Damme, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was a casual viewer of wrestling. It's really not my cup of tea. I prefer AEW, but when it comes down to it, I'd rather watch MMA.
Okay. I know only a few people, and I would probably horrify anybody if I were to try to place them in their appropriate rings, so to speak. But
Oh, okay.
people later become like actors.
Yeah, yeah. The one that surprised me was, who was it? Jake Paul, the one who caused all
Oh
the
God.
YouTube Holocaust to begin with, and then he
Yeah.
leaves and does something else, and I'm like, I
Thanks.
don't,
Thanks,
I
man.
don't, I don't like you, and I don't care that you're successful in your other fields. I just no longer care for you. Period.
I started not caring for either Paul brother. Uh, they had their own bullshit. I started on Vine, I think, and then it
Hmm.
moved to YouTube after, or sometime in between. But YouTube became the new thing, and
Yeah,
yeah, there are neighbors, I guess, somewhere in California. I would like to say
yeah.
that I used to live next to like Jake Paul,
Oh,
and
okay.
they say it was a horrifying experience, and I believe that. So
Oh,
yeah, both of them are assholes. We know this.
yes.
They're just famous assholes with a lot of money. Doesn't
They're
it
just,
suck?
they're Chads,
Yeah, yeah. They're chads with money. The horror.
pretty much.
Frat boys who never grew up. Oh,
All we need now is for one of them to come out of the closet, and then I call it. I know it.
is his closet light on, or is it just me?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I'm like, I'm still waiting for that announcement.
That would be oddly interesting. I'd be very curious to see what the ripple effect of that would be, because they're, I'm sure, trying to keep this very like macho manly man alpha shit.
Yeah, and that's
So
why I'm leaning in that direction. I'm like, you're trying too hard
true.
for a reason.
Like this is a toxic level right here. This is not good. So yeah, there's frequent cases where it turns out, oh look, they were projecting.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens with like the fans. What now?
Well, you either accept who they really are, or you find a new role model.
It, of course, I would always be the person to question: are they just doing this to try to stay relevant? Is this for real?
Yeah, yeah. Or there's always the one fan who's like, well, I don't care. I'm always going to have the old Jake Paul, and I can still appreciate that person.
Right.
I'm
I
like,
got news for you, sweetheart.
yeah.
What do you mean by the old Jake Paul? You mean the Vine Jake Paul? You mean the before the controversy part one Jake Paul?
Oh, yeah. Like, smartest idea ever. I'm going to go to the suicide park, and oh, look, I found a body. I'm going to
Yeah.
film it.
We're just like fucking up. I think that was, oh, if I'm,
Was it
if,
Logan?
I think it was Logan. I always get them confused, but I'm guessing
They're both the same degree of ugly.
this is true. This is true. Deeply unattractive, but for more than just physical purposes.
Yes.
I think it was Logan. He's, I guess, like the quote unquote older brother. I don't know. I don't know. The one who
Hmm.
had to make an apology video, and we know how that goes.
It was all fake.
Oh yeah, we know this. The acting is not good.
What was that thing the YouTube was even telling YouTubers? You are all bad actors. We
Yeah,
have
no
these
shit.
restrictions for a reason now.
Yes, we have new rules on YouTube that even YouTube doesn't understand because of them. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. But did you have any favorite characters from Slay, or not really
Uh,
too many?
I think they were. I don't think I was really able to fully grab, so to speak, onto anybody, but
Hmm.
I think they were all enjoyable on their own levels. There was no one who I, on the bright side, really thought was just annoying. Even the guy, I forget his name, but even the guy who is supposed to be the internal antagonist, shall we say,
Hmm.
the phobic guy.
Oh yeah.
Even him, I didn't really find terribly annoying because he was essentially a caricature of
Yeah.
what I'm sure a lot of drag queens and LGBTQ people deal with, but on a less severe side of things.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure it would be not too terribly shocking to anybody to know that I was trying to lean a little bit more towards Jax. Jax was kind of funny.
Hmm.
The one thing that they had said during the climactic fight, I forget what the phobic guy had said, but it was essentially that crosses don't seem to do anything, and Jax is like, "Oh, the church lied."
A lot
I'm
of
like,
things
"Ugh."
they lied about.
Yes, somebody lied. Somebody did not write the book on how to deal with this well.
Yeah, I mean the original cultural appropriation. You mean Christmas isn't Catholic? It isn't Christian? No,
Well,
it's not.
we have Easter. Easter. Hey, come here. Come here.
Yes, Easter is not yours. No,
Halloween
sorry.
is not that. I mean, people were already assuming Halloween was Satan's holiday anyway, so
You were
that one
still
was
wrong.
loose. Yeah, you're not right with that. Christmas, no, no,
No.
sorry about that.
You can have Valentine's Day. Saint Valentine was beheaded, though, so I'll still claim that as a horror holiday.
This is true. Yeah, there's a lot of violence in relation to Valentine's Day, so
Yeah, people are just like, ooh, chocolate, ooh, flowers. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those people, I'm like, I like to spoil myself because I don't have anyone to do it.
sure.
So I give myself flowers and chocolates, but
Why
I
not?
get the I get the good chocolate because I don't have to count on somebody knowing which kind I like.
This is true. So you know what you like. You can get it as much of it as you want, and really we don't need any excuse for that. But hey,
No,
Valentine's Day is love. Nobody said anything about specific love.
no. I mean, who's to say it can't be self-love?
There you go. I know a lot of adult sites have their sales go way up on Valentine's Day,
Oh
so there's
yeah,
that.
get some cinnamon flavored lubricant. It's totally edible.
Ooh, careful with the cinnamon though. Careful where you put that.
Yeah,
That could be
it tends
threatening.
to be pretty hot.
It's a spice. Remember, people, it's a spice.
I don't know. It's the first thing that came to mind.
No, it's I don't know, cherry, glow in the dark stuff.
Patchouli edible panties.
Whoa, patchouli, hey, going very hippie like. All right,
Yeah, but it's an aphrodisiac patchouli.
this is true. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's where I was leaning with that one.
Anything is an aphrodisiac if you just think
If
hard
you're
enough.
creative enough.
Yeah.
Like I forget what that fetish is where people will use insects to get off with, and I'm like, dude, that's nothing new. Cleopatra had a box of bees.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something about the
The vibrations.
it could be, yeah, vibrations, and there was, I swear I had heard something about how I'll say venom, but loosely, obviously, of the stinger itself is supposed to help with that.
Hmm.
I
I
forget
would I
why.
would have thought it wouldn't because that's such a sensitive area.
Well, I wouldn't recommend with doing it at all, but I would
Yeah.
recommend doing that in specific areas. But if you must, try an extremity like the arm.
Yeah. I mean, who was it? Albert Fish. He liked certain areas that probably shouldn't have been used.
Well, with a name like Albert Fish,
Yeah, I used to have a beta named Albert Fish,
it seems
but
fitting.
I would call him Mr. Fish for short.
Right.
I'm like, I'm surprised no one ever really caught it. It's like, what's your name? Albert.
Oh, there I'm surrounded by uneducated people.
It was subtle, but that's why I liked it.
Yeah, you gotta make people think that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'd say as a whole, the horror community, because we have so many varieties of people, we're probably more of the one of the more interesting out there. Plus, they tend to be friendlier, in my opinion.
Yeah, um, in my personal history, yeah, you get some bizarre individuals here and there, but
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, everyone's harmless. For the most part.
for the most part, yeah. Some of the, as they would say, like with the metal community, some of the biggest sweethearts. They're nerds. We're nerds. It's fun.
Yes, I've heard this story about the Russian cannibal.
I've heard of that. Yeah, it's a delightful fellow. Hi, Marty.
Was it? I don't know which foreign band had also done a song about it. Was it Rammstein?
Maybe.
Where a guy gave himself to a cannibal because he was into that and he wanted to be eaten alive, and it was based on actual events.
I, I had heard something about the actual event, or one of. I'm not terribly shocked if there were multiple, but there was. I don't know if it was Russia, but there was a guy who found another guy on Craigslist who essentially signed up to be eaten, and not in a
Hmm.
fun way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it
So,
depends. It's all perspective.
sure, right. I mean, hey, who am I to kink shame?
Yeah, I mean, some people are very open minded and creative, so I'll give them that.
True. It at least provides some very interesting podcast episodes later.
Yeah. Oh no, it was someone else.
Oh,
Oh,
Armand Mywes Kara.
yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, I know some band covered it.
Okay. There
Yeah,
might
and
have
then
been
there he
multiple.
goes. Yeah, it was my Wes.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. See,
I'm
I
sure
don't
we're
pay attention.
terribly mispronouncing.
Probably yes. Sorry, I'm American. I fuck
Yes.
things up all the time.
And on top of that, I'm sorry that I'm American and foreign countries have to put up with our bullshit.
Agreed. Yes. I apologize on behalf. We don't claim everybody. I don't expect you to keep them either. But could you take Justin Bieber back?
Yeah, it's like I I know it. There's no official welcome sign, but please
Well,
consider who you allow to come over here.
you mean there's no welcome sign at the border of America? I thought it was the sound of freedom and guns.
Oh gosh. Yeah, there have even been horror stories about that. Just
Oh yeah.
people setting up and hunting. And I'm like, you have to be some degree of sick to do that.
Yes, but as horror fans, apparently we're the degenerates of society.
Well, see, I think that's why we're better adjusted, is because we actually have an outlet for it instead of hanging on to it.
Yes, a healthy outlet. Who would have thought? Something that could be, dare I say, creative.
Hmm. And contrary to popular belief, quite a bit of us are fairly well read.
Yes. You ask someone, just a random horror fan, some off the wall fucking question, and they'll probably be there with the question and added history.
Oh, yeah, Marty says it was Rammstein.
Ah, okay, that sounded about right, but
Yeah, it sounds like something they would cover.
yes, Rammstein, bless.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I'd say overall Slay was entertaining. I enjoyed it for what it was, but
Yeah,
I would say no, it doesn't have any rewatchability.
I don't think, just personally, I mean, I like to sit with films a bit because my immediate reaction isn't always long term reaction,
Hmm.
of course. That can change. We know this over time. But Slay wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad at all.
No,
And
I don't think so.
Hi, Slipknot. I also don't think it was terribly impressive, but I don't think it was trying to be.
No, and I love that one scene where they call themselves out and they're describing everything that's going on outside.
Yeah,
And they're like, with a film like this, we would have an extremely limited budget.
Yeah,
And then
this is for
the
a
only
bigger budget.
the only special effect they have is the one severed head going
Yeah.
across screen in slow motion.
And I was trying to figure that out initially because you see the head as it comes into frame becomes more the focal point for the
Pretty
framing,
much.
and it's moving very like slow motion
I
from left
noticed
to
that
right.
too the first time I watched it, and then somebody says it, they're like in slow motion, and I'm like, yeah, but you're moving in regular time.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, got it. This is parody humor. Got it, parody humor.
Yes, they're poking fun at themselves, so I can
Yeah,
enjoy a film that doesn't take itself too seriously.
yeah. No, they were at least aware, which I would think you would have to be, but then some of the movies that I've seen, maybe not.
Yeah.
They were at least aware of it and played with it a bit. Maybe not as much as they could have, but again, I
Hmm.
guess this was a smaller budget film. Not
Hmm.
like no budget, but smaller.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely within that independent bracket.
Yeah. And I've
I
never heard of the director
mm-mm.
before. Jem Gerard? Gerard? Forgive my
Gerard Gerard.
Miss Jem. Uh, but I guess she is British Canadian, which maybe, and this is no offense to either, but maybe that contributes to the tone of humor and why it's a little hit or miss for me. I know British humor tends to be pretty dry.
It's also subtle, but
Yeah,
I do enjoy some English or British shows. I'm not sure which one's
sure.
the one that's considered non-offensive,
But,
but I'm American. I don't know any better.
yes, we
That
are
that cannot
American. We
be.
are ignorant. I'm sorry.
It's not a long-term excuse, though. I know it will take you only so far.
We are trying to actively learn, I swear. We're just slower on it.
Yeah, I know some regions prefer to be called British. No, no, European. There I go mixing up again. They prefer to be called European.
All right. Well, we'll ask individually and get a consensus.
Yeah, there I go accidentally mixing stuff up again. Yeah, the title of the movie reminded me of similarity titled slasher movie.
The
Sorry, I'm not wearing
Slayer.
glasses. Slasher movie called The Slayer, 1982. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things about it. I've never heard of it.
Huh. I wonder if that's. Oh, yeah. It's on my watch list. I've heard of it. It's there was.
Hey,
Oh, I
UFO.
forget. Hi. Bigfoot. I see that UFO, Bigfoot. Two things my father enjoys.
Yeah.
Um, there was some documentary. So I watch a shit ton of horror movie documentaries and behind the scenes, so I couldn't tell you which one. But there was somebody who was talking about the Slayer, and that's how I know about it, at least from the poster. I've never seen it.
Hmm.
We'll get there eventually, but
I've probably seen the poster, but it's not clicking with me right now.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's pretty simple. Some sort of odd silhouette in a doorway, backlit with red and flames in the front, essentially. At least that's
Hmm.
the poster I see. I'm sure there's others.
Hmm. I'll have to Google it. I'm sure I've run across it and it's not occurring to me. Oh, that one. It's like a go home or you figure it out later on the way home.
Yeah, the moment where it clicks mentally and you go, ah.
Yes. But yeah, I know we keep jumping off topic, but I always do that anyway, so that's normal for my streams.
That's my
The
usual brain pattern.
Yeah. I mean, I do like loop back around, but yeah, like as far as Slay, I really didn't have any favorite characters. I think was it Irene, the one woman that got stabbed in the titty.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
I
thought
think it
she was
was.
pretty funny.
It had to be. I'm looking. Or
Oh,
was it?
accurate description.
Oh, Sheila.
Was
Oh,
it
okay, cool.
Sheila?
Yeah, I
For
think
some
so.
reason, I stuck with her. First, I don't know. Maybe she looked like an Irene to me.
Maybe. I mean, it's southern desert hillbilly esque kind of environment. Irene sounds
Yeah.
about right. No, she was fun. I enjoyed her. I also, to be quite honest, I also kind of liked the owner of the place, Dusty.
Yeah, he was fun. I like it at the beginning when they were watching the show. Wow,
Yeah,
they were watching the show, and he was kind of twiddling his finger around, and then he looked around to make sure no one noticed.
yeah, yeah. He was into it, bless him. And then I do have to say, I don't know if this would be considered spoilers for anybody, but there is a development with the character of Dusty kind of towards the end before the final
hmm
battle, so to speak. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, work, okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's individual. You don't see it often, but I'm surprised they kept the beard. Like I actually thought he
Yeah,
was going to go clean faced.
I thought it would have been quite shocking if they did that. But
Hmm.
I have seen drag queens, glamour drag performers
hmm
who do have like the full beard and it's
Yeah, I mean
glitter and
it's not unheard of. I mean, I've even seen performers where say they have a clean face, but they've got a hairy chest.
yeah,
So yeah, and I mean, to me, it really doesn't take away from the show or from their look. It's just part of who they are.
yeah, it's part of their personal aesthetic and style.
hmm
Have your beard, put glitter in it. Go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. And I liked that comparison. What was it? Glitter is the herpes of, and it's true. It's like you can't get rid of it. After it's on you,
Yeah,
forget about it.
you're gonna find, especially if it's like a finer glitter, then you're
Yes.
gonna find it everywhere. God forbid you have carpet in your room where you're doing this because
Oh,
it will never leave. Never. You will have glitter for the rest of your life. This is a lifelong commitment, everybody.
and then we have, I believe the movie Cannibal was based on the Armin incident.
Huh.
As for Slay, I will probably give it a watch based on this discussion. Good.
Yeah. No, it's
Hopefully
not
you
a
like
bad.
it.
It's not a bad thing at all. It's
Yeah, it was fun. I had fun
yeah,
watching it. I enjoyed it.
kind of a passive kind of watch, if you will. You don't have to be terribly invested.
No, not really. I mean, it's definitely something you can have going on in the background. You won't miss anything. It's not a super detailed story. There's no subplot.
Yeah,
I did like the developing romance that they had going on,
that's
the side
true.
story.
Yeah, that's true. You don't. Unfortunately, you don't see that terribly often with Robin and Steven, I believe,
hmm
if I'm remembering correctly. So that was nice. I was happy to see that because you usually have, of course, as I'm sure a number of us are familiar with, drag queens as essentially the punchline and not actual people.
See, I actually think that drag queens are beautiful. I mean, they come in
Yeah,
all shapes and sizes, sure, but I mean, I wish I could do my makeup that well. I mean,
it's a
I
skill.
envy it, but not in a bad way. Like, to me,
Yeah,
it adds to the whole aesthetic and it makes the look unique.
yeah, and they each have their own unique looks.
hmm
It's a thing that you develop over time, just like any other beauty makeup. And remember, everybody, remember, it's Pride Month #1. But
Yeah.
you can thank drag queens in general for Elvira, for one. You're welcome.
hmm
But it is something terribly impressive, and it's not even just the makeup, really. I've seen how they get ready, how they develop their costumes. They typically will make their own costumes,
Yes.
so it's all quite impressive, and that's not even going into the choreography or the stand up or whatever they choose to do for the performance. So, hey.
Yeah. I mean, even when I do my personas, it's like I cannot make stuff. I just don't know how. So I take pre-existing pieces and put them together.
It's still part of a look. You know, everybody starts there, I think.
hmm
I plead the fifth. We do raccoon eyes, a vest, and a top hat. Thank you.
Yes. That's generally my look at work. Very heavy eyeliner, but that's more of I incorporate spirituality in pretty much everything I do. So
Hmm.
that's borrowed from the Egyptians. Is they believed that the eyeliner helped their gods to see them.
Yeah, this is true. At least on the bright side, you don't have to use makeup that's made out of ant eggs.
Oh yeah.
We've made improvements over time, little by little.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for improvement. The makeup
Sure.
today is definitely still better than the makeup we had in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of caking going on there. A lot of drying. There's not a moisturizer in sight. Oh.
Hmm. And nowadays, at least for me, the complaint is it can't have too much moisturizer, otherwise I'm just going to walk around looking like an oil slick.
Everything's slippery. Why?
And I know that's part of a look too, but no, I did not put Vaseline on my face to achieve this look.
No. This is natural, honey. It's hot out here, okay?
Yes.
The face is literally melting. I'm just trying to stay moisturized.
Yes. Yes, I mean, I love makeup. I just wish I could do more unique looks. I'm more one of those persons. I'll wear it the same way every day for years, and then gradually over time it'll change, and then it'll be that same look every day until, and it's that long, boring cycle.
I plead the fifth. I don't do. Well, when I do makeup, it's. I like to
Theatrical.
call it theatrical. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not your quote unquote beauty makeup. But I do like to mess around with
Yeah.
the theatrical makeup and just see what we can do. If you need anybody to help you with your blush and your eyeliner, wrong person. But if you need
Yeah.
me to make you look like you were hit by a bus, I can do that.
Yeah. No, I get into the theatrical also, and that when I do the eyeshadow and lips and stuff like that, that's very different from my everyday basic face.
Mm.
So in that one, yes, I do put more time and effort into it to making it look maybe not necessarily more creative, but it looks very different from the way I typically present.
Yeah.
Oh. What is your favorite type of horror? Slasher, supernatural, creature features, psychological, etc., etc.?
Hmm. I like, honestly, a little bit from just about every genre. I'll bounce around to a lot of them, but I think my go tos that I enjoy the most are probably paranormal and horror comedy.
Mm, nice. Yeah, I tend to lean more towards the dark psychological or
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I really like that the stuff that kind of plays upon itself, and if you really get into it, it'll either throw you through a loop or it'll be like, no, this is actually what the story is. So no, you were totally wrong.
Yes. The mindfuck subgenre.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love those.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, other than of course all my retro stuff, but
Yeah.
and of course, very obviously, I like vampires. I mean, this was a vampire film. I'm always talking
True.
about the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. Not too much
Hmm.
about the Lost Boys. I think that one's overhyped.
It's I think everything really has the opportunity to be more niche and perhaps
Hmm.
something of a developed, acquired taste for some.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I was super into it when I was younger. Now that I've gotten older, it's like everybody quotes it. I see the images everywhere. I'm like, yawn.
everybody's latched on to that and wait till they find out about some other things. Come here, come on, I want to show you something really weird. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather watch something Brian Usna. Like, I love surrealistic stuff.
He's a very interesting guy.
He is. Yeah, I'd say that's probably another favorite genre other than like eco horror, natural disasters.
I'm always a sucker for 80s horror in general.
Hmm.
So hey, it's 80s. It's a horror movie. Say no more. Let's go.
Yeah, creature features are a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a giant crocodile in the sewer. Why not? All right, let's see.
Well, you need Robert Forrester for that one.
Of course, it's very
Haha,
important.
Marty thinks the same.
What, you mean Marty, the guy who likes Jurassic Park and Alien and Predator, is a fan
Yes,
of creature feature horror? I never would have known.
that Marty.
Yes, that Marty.
You know the guy with the cool collectibles collection.
Yes, yes. The one who likes to take cinematic photography of said collectible
Oh,
items, shall we say? Yes.
oh yeah, I love his photography, especially when he like creates his own little comic strips.
Mm. Little motion capture, stop motion kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
This is the portion where we try to make Marty blush. Okay, everybody join in.
I don't think Marty's blushing. I think we have to lay it on a little thicker.
Well, we got to bring Jen in for that. You see.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's cheating.
This
Jen
is
makes
true.
it so easy.
This is true. Jen has it down. She has a science. We know.
Yes. I like creature features the most because I am seeing, yes, you see where the
True.
budget went. And you get to see
Quite
someone's
literally.
skill, the guy who sculpted it, who put it together,
Mm.
the animatronics, if it's practical.
Yeah, some puppetry perhaps here and there.
Hmm.
Depends on I guess, the budget. You gotta see things chomping on some people. Yeah.
Yes. And make it look good.
We hope, or at the very least, as I ask of all horror movies that I watch, if it's not gonna be good, at least make it entertaining.
Well, I can deal with a low budget film, but the story has to be strong. Like I can forgive your $2 Walmart googly eyed sock puppet monster.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a sock puppet monster could still be terrifying in certain situations.
Yeah,
Watch that be the next horror movie.
some slashers can be pretty cheap.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, but I mean, Scream is effective. I mean, it's
true.
not even a scary costume, but it was
Hmm.
definitely something very familiar. And I believe the costume was originally called Ghost Faced. It was around 2 or 3 years before the Scream franchise picked it up.
Something I think. Okay, let me see if I can remember. Oh, digging back into the archives. When I covered the facts about Scream, I think that was something that they brought up, and
Hmm.
I think it was called something like the peanut ghost, just because of the shape of the mask, something like that.
That doesn't sound familiar.
It could have been something else too. I don't know. I always take certain facts that I find with a bit of a grain of salt, because it's very possible that things were shifted and changed or just completely made up
Yeah,
over time. But it's at least something I found, so here you go.
yeah. Oh, we have another fan of creature features, psychological, paranormal, not slashers, torture porn. Oh, I love torture porn. They're not as big as they used to be though.
No, that was like an early 2000s
Yeah,
fad
it,
for a
it, it
while.
died down like Eli Roth matured and we actually get stuff with strong storylines now.
Yeah, he's gotten a bit better. It's all right.
Yeah, but I remember there was a group of directors that they were all lumped in and they were called the Splat Pack.
Huh. I could not tell you who that was. I would assume Eli Roth.
I'd have to go back and Google it. I know I've run across it before.
Hmm. I know that Peter Jackson was known as the Prince of Splatter, essentially, before Lord
Oh,
of the Rings.
yeah, I still haven't seen his old stuff. Like, I loved Meet the Feebles, but the one that keeps slipping me is Bad Taste.
I haven't seen that one yet either. I've seen Dead Alive or Brain Dead,
Yes,
depending on
yeah,
where you are.
where you are.
The Frighteners, of course, as everyone knows.
The
That's my
Frighteners
favorite.
is fantastic.
Yes, not so much splatter. There's still some gooiness, shall we say, in that, but not as severe as like Dead Alive and stuff like that. I haven't seen very much of his older stuff yet.
Yeah, I mean, I make the rounds here and there, but I kind of hit like little kicks. Like I'm on this wave of this thing right now,
Yeah.
and one of the weirdest waves I was on, and it was a twofer. It was after they announced the Crow remake. I remembered Wicked Prayer, and I'm like, so I went on an Edward Furlong kick, and
Oh.
then so I watched all of his bad movies. Not the stuff when he was still a star, like all the stuff like after.
Yeah, there was. I swear he was in a horror movie pretty recently with Shelley Duvall. I forget the name of it.
Hmm.
But I
I have
haven't
to
seen that one
Google
yet.
it.
I didn't even know that it was out. I thought we were still waiting, but I think it's out somewhere. But I know
Mm-hmm.
he's in that. There's a few other recognizable faces in there too. But I'm
But
I'm kind of willing to bet it's probably not too good. But If it's
Well,
entertaining,
no, Edward. It's rude to say, but if Edward Furlong is in it, don't expect much.
fair.
It's kind of like he was the original Eric Roberts, except Eric Roberts actually still is a good actor and he still gets good parts.
Yeah. Not all child actors are able to continue an illustrious career.
No, but I followed up my Furlong kick with Corey Feldman, so two child
Ooh.
stars. Yeah, that was a rough one. I wanted to watch the documentary and I never got around to it, but I watched his live performances and he can
I'm
actually sing
sorry.
very well. He's
Yeah,
done some cover songs; they were good. Um, it's just his persona. It's kind of like, dude, you're deliberately trying to make me laugh right now, aren't you?
tell me that you
Like
are
you're
self-aware
straight up
enough.
playing, right?
Yeah. Tell me he's joking. He's
Yes,
he's not. Oh, okay. He said, "Oh, y'all want Michael Jackson? Here's the bargain bin discount version.
yes, the great value version.
The great value Michael Jackson. Is this what you all wanted?"
No, please go back away. Get back in the janitor's closet. Whatever you came out of, go back.
Put the Jerry curl down.
Oh gosh. I got a mental picture of that. I was like, ugh,
You're welcome.
thank you. I'm gonna save that one for the disgusting stuff bank, and that way next time I'm pretending someone disgusts me, I'm going to think of Corey Feldman and Jerry Cole and Jerry Carl. I can't
Yeah.
talk, and I'm just going to look at somebody disdainfully and just be like, ugh.
What the hell was that mental image? You don't want to know.
You don't want to know, but I'm still directing the after effect towards you. Just know that was just for you. You don't have to know how I achieved it.
I did it on purpose.
Yes, on command.
Huh. The Forest Hills is the movie that I was thinking of.
Forest Hills.
Yeah. Uh, who did? Oh, Scott Goldberg. I have no idea. No idea. It's not streaming anywhere. It's not getting good reviews.
Big surprise.
Shocking. Bless, they found Shelley Duvall, and this is what they did.
That poor woman.
Oh, bless her. I'm
Don't
glad that
don't you dare
she's.
go and ruin a good name.
Yeah, don't hurt her. Don't hurt her. Leave her alone. Come on. Leave her alone. She's minding her own goddamn business.
She's done her time. She's earned it. Leave her alone.
Yeah. She's earned her retirement. I guess she, according to someone who spends quite a bit of time with her, she was just interested in jumping back into movies a little bit. Nothing too serious. I mean, she's older
Yeah.
now, but let her do what she wants. Even if it's a bad movie, we know at least Shelley Duvall is there. For however brief it is, she's there.
Yeah. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of conversation in the chat.
Are we geeking out about things? Yes.
Yes, it looks like they went off about Ghost in the Darkness. Yes, that was based on true events, and I consider that natural horror. Yes, I do have that in my collection as well. The story is a bit slow, but it's good. I like it. I love that line, "The devil has come to Savile."
Intriguing.
Let's see. Where did we leave off? I know they went off on the Christopher Walken prophecy and don't get it mixed up with the Bear film. And then
Yeah.
they started on Grizzly. So they had a fun time in the chat.
Something about bears and Christopher Walken. This sounds about right.
All we need now is don't get it confused with the child's film, The Bear.
Huh. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. You know, it's just like when you got a generic name for a horror film. This is why it's so important to include the year in which things were released.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Lest
very
you
important.
Find weird shit.
Oh, that reminds me. The one I've been really wanting to watch lately is, speaking of weird shit, is Garden of Pomegranates.
Huh. I have never heard of that.
Not Garden, I'm sorry, The Color of Pomegranates.
I still haven't heard of it. Pomegranates. Huh. Is that a new one or is that been a
It's
while?
an old one. Like I would say it falls into that whole spiritual surrealist genre, like Jodorowsky.
Okay. Intriguing. We must investigate.
Yeah, I mean, I went through a whole surrealist film. I love Jen Speckmeyer, but I mean, those guys are pretty much retired now. So it's kind of like I wish I had discovered these other surrealist films while I was into that.
Mm.
But better late than never.
This is true. There's appreciation to be had after the fact, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, now you have factoids and stuff you can research, and not just that, I have a new frame of mind to look at it with different knowledge gained, different life experiences.
This is true.
But yes, this one, the grizzly that blew up from the bazooka.
I mean, how else are you gonna stop a killer bear?
Yes.
A
And it
bazooka.
was, I forget, is this the one where the bear's running and chasing after people and you see the bear's belly jiggling around from all the latex?
It could be. And isn't that also the one where so many years later it was Grizzly 2 and there was a like young George Clooney or
I
something
have
in there?
not seen Grizzly 2, but yes, I want to say there is one. The
I
one I
think
don't
so.
hear people talk too much about is Day of the Animals.
Oh. No, I think I came across that some time ago. It might have been when I was researching for a one of my WTF horror movies lists.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When animals attack, yes. Bunnies. Okay.
Yeah, are you talking about Night of the Lepus?
That's a different one as well, but I think it's in the same category, technically.
Oh, okay. I haven't
Large
heard of that.
rabbits. And they're bloodthirsty. I don't remember this in Thumper.
Yeah, they'll definitely slap you with their feet and kill you.
Yes, that's at least gonna hurt quite a bit, you know. Lots of bruising.
It reminds me of that old cheesy joke about why can you never hear rabbits have sex?
Hmm.
Because they have cotton balls.
Um,
You miss that. You miss that familiar slap sound.
uh, touche.
Oh yeah, and then Slipknot was saying he hasn't seen Grizzly. That's where he brought up the prophecy. And there you go, 1979, not the 90s one.
Hmm. Yeah, see, the dates are so important.
Yes, it is actually.
I'm talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which one?
The reboot. Which reboot?
Yeah, which?
Are we talking Next Generation or which one?
All right, describe what Leatherface looks like in that. Tell me.
That helps.
Yeah. You can always tell what point you are in the timeline of Texas Chainsaw Massacre according to how Leatherface looks.
Oh, here's a good one. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that wasn't filmed in Texas.
Well,
The first one that wasn't filmed in Texas. Let me rephrase that.
there you go. See, many specifications. Gotta be very specific.
Yeah,
And of
it's
course
the
you
one
have.
with the theme park in the background. You can hear people screaming.
Oh! Oh! Does this have Matthew McConaughey or not? No, that's not.
No, that's a different one. So
Uh,
funny. And then they wait to release the film until they're both stars. I'm like, yeah, good move there.
Good idea. I'm glad you're all very happy about that. Aren't you glad?
It's bad, but I still watch it. I enjoy bad films. Like
Sure.
I love The Howling 3. I was talking about that one this morning earlier.
I've
And I'm like, where else are you going to get wolves in tutus?
wolves in tutus and kangaroo wolves.
Yes.
Need I say more?
Or werewolf nuns.
Or yeah, werewolf nuns. They're not actually nuns, but it kind of works. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe nunsploitation. I don't know.
I don't know. I've still been wanting to watch Letters of a Portuguese Nun, so I need to get on that one too.
There's a lot of non-exploitation movies.
And then
You could
there's the Sexorcist film, Santanico Pandemonium,
that I. Oof. There's a lot.
which is where the Salma Hayek's character from Dusk Till Dawn gets her name.
Ah,
She was named for that film.
that's true. For those
I
who
like,
know.
yeah, it's reason enough to watch it. I'm like, if it inspired this name, I want to know what the big deal is. Like when Quentin Tarantino referenced Hugo Stiglitz in The Inglourious Bastards. And I'm like, okay, who's Hugo Stiglitz? He's an international film actor, and he made a. It was more of a lifestyle film. It was called. It translates to tiger shark in English. It was a Jaws ripoff, but it was basically
Ah,
more about a group of people together. They're a triad, and then one of them gets killed. So to avenge the person that got murdered, he goes hunting after this shark.
huh. Vaguely Moby Dick like.
Ishes, but I mean, like, and this was, of course, before there was proper treatment of animals in film. So you can literally
Ugh.
see a shark being dragged across the screen, a dead shark, and he's on a wire.
Oh god. This is not a film for those who are part of the ASPCA.
Yeah, PETA people beware.
Hmm. Well, I think we need to beware of PETA, but you know.
Yeah, that is more correct, but I don't hear about them as much as I used to, which is a good sign.
I'd like to think so. Not unless they make something that's meme worthy, then it's something else. So you wouldn't eat a dinosaur. Yes, I would. We're gonna make chicken nuggets into dino nuggets for realsies. Come on.
Yeah, and we're gonna cut them in the shape of dinosaurs too. So there,
It's gonna be very ironic and metaphor. Come on.
it's good to be meta.
Yeah. We're gonna get some barbecue sauce, some ketchup. Come on.
I'm more of a hot mustard.
It's fair. You can have the hot mustard. I'll stick with a few other different things. It depends. Just regular honey mustard, perhaps some ranch.
Oh, okay, here we go. So Marty was talking. There we go. He says the McFarlane ghost faced back in the late '90s, early 2000s figure was called Ghostface from Stab because McFarlane didn't get the rights to the Miramax to use the title.
Oh, I see. So they found a little loophole.
Yeah, they went roundabout.
Interesting. Huh. I wonder if stab at this point is now considered trademark.
I don't know. Like I know there are clips out there from the Stab films, and I've seen fake posters and stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one has done a spin-off and actually released a parody Stab film.
Huh. I have no idea. I know there's some fan films for Scream, but I think it's more in the realm of Scream, not Stab.
Hmm.
So, huh. That'd be interesting to see. New Stab from the world of Scream. Now we're just gonna confuse everybody.
Oh, there you go. Grizzly 1 is Jaws with a bear. Grizzly 2 has, yes, George Clooney, Charlie Sheen, Laura Dern, killed in one scene, made in the early 80s, finished, what, in the 2010s. Oh, and a
Oh.
bear and shot with a PNG clip art bullet. Really?
Oh no.
That
Okay.
sounds terrible.
That clarifies some things because I think I was remembering when that was being released, maybe, because everybody was talking about how it was filmed, like Marty said, in like the 80s,
Hmm.
but the project was abandoned. They ran out of funding or some shit,
Hmm.
and then they found the footage and pieced it together and like retroactively released it with what they had essentially.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
no, it's don't expect it to be a masterpiece essentially.
no, Darcy did that with that pig movie that she
Yeah,
had released, Hogzilla.
Hogzilla. Hogzilla.
It's still fun to chant.
Of course, it's become a nice little mental tick.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Bob, they were playing Suitable Flesh last night, and for me, it was like kind of slow. I'm like, this movie's kind of boring, but then it has interesting moments. And then I got to the point to where I always try to stay awake for the whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to tap out.
I know. Yeah, I watched that last night. That was my first viewing for the movie.
Same.
It's, I think it's kind of cool. It's at Miskatonic University, so it is in the same realm, shall we say, the same world as Reanimator, possibly from
Yeah.
beyond.
And that discussion came up also in
Mm,
the mass chat if you follow the tag.
yeah, yeah. I think even the director himself had mentioned that.
Hmm.
So it was interesting. It's another modern addition to the H.P. Lovecraft kind of world there. Probably not my favorite, but not a bad film.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and watch it like the regular version minus the Joe Bob just to say I
Sure.
finished watching it. But at this point it's probably better than that Johnny Depp film The Gate, the one where it's about the devil book.
Oh.
I'm like, I want to like that movie so bad because it's about books and the occult, but it's so boring.
You have those, yes. I'm afraid you got those films that just don't quite understand pacing.
Hmm. Oh, and Marty's been asking for this forever. I still need to get moving on that. A nunsploitation stream with me, Jen, and Lady Sasha.
Jen already has the costume, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I have an outfit too, but I'm like, I don't know if I can wear it that long. It's pretty hot, especially in all that cake paint.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, how do we ventilate nuns? How do we do this? Because it seems like it's some form of cruelty.
I mean, what helps is because I mean, I have that. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called, but that cover for the hair and it covers the neck. The
The
thing is,
habit?
it's not the habit. The habit's the black part.
Okay. Cowl or something. I don't know. Hood.
I don't remember what the word for it is. Like I know this because I researched nuns because I'm actually into that.
Hmm.
Like actual, legitimate nuns, or even nunsploitation, or just like nun horror, but no, that's an actual genuine interest.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but the fabric still covers your neck area, so it's like there's nowhere you can get fresh air other than your hands.
Yeah, and I don't typically see nuns walking around with like hand fans.
No, no, I mean it's considered too decadent.
Yeah, yeah, they're supposed to live in poverty and
Hmm.
not partake in worldly materialism.
No, and it's silly to say, but I was genuinely surprised when I discovered nuns are allowed to have cell phones.
I guess it's kind of a requirement at this point just to have communication.
Hmm. I mean, obviously they're limited in how much they can use it, but I was still surprised. Like, wow, really?
Yeah, yeah. It would still probably be a very interesting visual to see a nun walking around holding an iPhone or something.
Yeah. But then again, I'm surprised whenever I see a priest in their recreational clothes, like when they're out of their, I don't know what you call it, their suit.
Yeah.
And I've seen them like in track lounge suits, and it's kind of like, you look so different.
I didn't recognize you without the white collar set.
Yeah, it's like you look weird. Like maybe if you were a young priest, I would try to do something I'm not supposed to, but still.
Well, that hasn't stopped other people.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
all
mean, if
right.
you're
We
if
all.
you're a priest in your 70s, I'm like, no,
No, no,
that's
no.
just wrong.
We're gonna need to find something else for that. Thank you.
Yes.
Father, does it say anything about Viagra?
Oh, they actually don't need to buy Viagra. I learned this recently from UFO Bigfoot, actually,
Oh.
because I thought it was funny. I posted a supplement of horny goat weed, and I did the whole Beavis and Butthead gif right next to it,
Mm.
because that was literally my reaction. I'm like, cool.
I'll see that in like the vitamin aisle, and I'm like, hey ma, fuck is that for?
Yeah, like it's literally natural Viagra.
Well, there you go. At least the name fits.
It
Makes it
does.
better to find it. Look for horny goatweed. What?
But then my next question becomes, does it work for women also? I never researched that.
Huh. I would assume if blood flow is
I mean,
involved, maybe.
women also get erections, they're just different from the kind men get.
This is true. Yes. Everybody starts out, shall we say, in the womb with a certain default.
Mhm.
And things can or won't evolve from there.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Anatomy 101.
Yep. Physiology.
Yes. And now to disturb the men.
What? Women start with penises? No, men. Did you know the only reason you have breast is because we all start off as feminine and then it's determined later what gender we will be?
Yep. Otherwise
That's
known
the only
as.
reason men have breasts.
Yep. That's the only reason why you have areolas. You're welcome.
Mm, yes. I don't know if they can tend to leak the way women's do, but I
Oh,
think I heard someone once say that theirs did.
wow. I think that is a reason to go to the doctor.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, non lactating women, they have had that phenomenon also.
Oh, sure. I just mean with guys who aren't used to that.
Yeah, I mean, their hormones are completely different. I mean, in my mind, because it's like, okay, you have low levels of estrogen, same way we have low levels of testosterone.
Hmm.
Except, of course, when we're in that time of the month, because our testosterone goes haywire, and that's why our emotions are just out the door, and we're just off the pale.
Yes, you heard that right, everybody. It's a rise of testosterone that causes women to act, as one might say, irrationally.
Yes.
Take that with, well, a rather large grain of salt.
All I can say to the men out there, stock up on cranberry juice, bring chocolate, and for the love of God, for the first day that you're aware of it, a very nice gesture if she's not allergic, bring her some flowers.
Haagen-Dazs is never a bad option.
No. That will also be a lifesaver. It will help you from not getting your head chewed off on the first maybe second day if you're lucky.
Good luck.
You're welcome.
And also, heating pads. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Electric preferred. The water ones eventually get cold.
There's some now that
And ones
are.
that are on timers, they'll self shut off.
That's also true. That's fun.
And stay out of the bathroom because some women have to pee a lot during that time. You find
Just make
somewhere else to go
sure
masturbate.
make sure that you are on call for retrieval of supplies.
Yes. If you want to live
Ah,
for the next 4 to 7 days.
yeah, yeah. Just be real nice. Don't cuss shit. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Do the cooking, do the dishes. Just shut up and do it.
Hmm.
It's a few days. Order out if you can't cook. Use your own credit card, not hers.
And if you shouldn't cook, definitely order out.
Yes. Or at the very least, if you know how to barbecue and she likes it.
No. This is not the time to try new recipes. Don't do it.
No. And you're not going to get away with feeding her ramen.
No. Yeah. It's not gonna go well.
No.
Not unless it's fancy ramen. That's different.
Yeah, ramen restaurant, that's different. Unless they're like, I just don't like noodles.
Oh.
It's like, well, you're seeing a guy, aren't you?
Then she must be a fan of sausage. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of euphemisms out there. I just can't think of any right now. I mean, the one for women is taking a slide down the banister.
Yeah. That's one. Now there's a, I'm sure a great number, and it's real fun because if you go somewhere else, a different country, then there's a whole nother set.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh gosh. Would you like to see a version of Back to the Future where Eric Stoltz was the lead? No.
Mm, no offense to Eric Stoltz. Sorry, Michael J. Fox fan for a long time. Can't do it. Just like I couldn't see anybody else
Mm-mm.
portraying Doc.
It's too iconic.
Yep.
Even if he had been considered at one point, it's kind of like, no offense to Eric Stoltz, but he's kind of dweeby.
We need someone who's able to balance this very interesting little mix of he's a bit of a loser, but he's also the cool kid. He can play guitar, but he doesn't have a car.
Oh
He's
gosh.
a klutz, but he still manages to whoop ass. You know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need
Have you
this
seen him
mix.
in Killing Zoe?
No.
No, that one's pretty pulpy, but yeah, and it has its comedic moments in it.
Okay.
But yes, per Jurassic Park, all embryos are inherently female. Movie
That's true.
science,
It's, it's hey, you know, Jurassic Park offers a lot to learn about. If you
it's in a movie, so it's true. Science, bitch.
yes, totally. It's in a movie made by Spielberg. What more do
Yeah.
we need? We have Jeff Goldblum in here. I think it works.
Oh, here you go. 25 years of marriage and 2 daughters have taught me to navigate the dangers of the red tide. Yes.
Then you are a veteran, my friend. Very good, very good.
Yeah, he probably knows tips and tricks we don't know. And we're
It's
women.
very possible.
Or
Yeah, well,
correction. I forgot. I didn't mean anything by that.
no. Functioning uteruses all around. We'll put it that way.
No, it slipped me. I not on
Things have
purpose.
been experienced. We know.
No, that's why I generally tend to say feminine and masculine, just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say like guys or dudes, and then be like, oh, well, not always.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I also call my mom dude, so it's not. I mean, for me, it's a generalized term. It has no
Dude is
gender.
unisex term, dude.
Well, see, I don't like unisex because it means there's only one sex.
Ah, okay. It is a gender ambiguous term.
That'll work.
Yes.
Laughter.
This man has seen horrors.
He's witnessed and survived horrors. No
Wow.
worries, I'm 50-year-old dude. Okay, well, we pretty much had a self-starter guide for people who don't know any better.
That's true. Some have trial by fire. Others receive a little handbook. Others have to learn as they go. It's an interesting process.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just trial and error. It's like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it right next month. No, you're
Slowly but
not.
surely. Little improvements, little improvements. Then, of course, you get the lovely little curveball effect. Ha! Something new!
Eric Stoltz was the original Marty McFly. He filmed most of the movie before getting fired. Robert Zemeckis couldn't get Michael J. Fox, but wanted him originally. Once he found a way to get him, he fired Stoltz.
That must have sucked.
Not just that, but I mean, you're shooting on film. It's expensive to go back and reshoot everything.
True, I guess. I mean, I understand the thought process of it. Of well, we have to make the film, regardless if we get everything we want. But if the opportunity arrives where you do manage to get hold of the actor that you originally wanted, then I guess it makes at least some sense. If you're banking that much on an actor, that has to show some sort of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
And maybe that's the reason why the film is so much fun.
True. I think something that I think Robert Zemeckis possibly had said was that another reason why Stoltz just didn't work out is because his style of humor or the way that he portrayed the character just wasn't melding well with everything else.
Mm. I'm like, dude, you let him pass the audition.
True. He was
That's
only
on
Plan
you.
B.
What is it? Oh, and you reminded me. Slay had a Plan B joke.
They did, yeah. At least once. I don't. I'd have to watch it again to see if they
Yeah,
did.
there was one in there, and then who was it? I forgot the name already. Was it? I want to say Bella, but that's because they were talking about Twilight, the drag queen with the blue hair.
Yeah, that I believe is Bella Du Bois.
Maybe Bella was chosen for that reason.
Maybe.
But yeah, they and she mentions, oh, there was a Plan A, and I rolled my eyes and shook my head.
She's the dense one. We know.
Well, she didn't even know she was a vampire. That's so funny.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
I mean, but she's so real for that. You know, you wake up all of a sudden and everybody's going, "Oh my god, what
Mm-hmm.
vampire? Where?
Because oddly enough, I thought that the vampire had used their own blood when they stabbed Bella.
Huh? Yeah,
But
that would
no, they
be. Huh? No, I guess they just, according to the laws in this particular film, there's no necessary swapping of blood. It's just a matter of kind of zombie rules: bite and that's it.
mm-hmm.
Well, bite and draining of blood, most likely.
Well, and even then, that ideology in vampire films has no logic. Like, if you made a blood transfusion, that makes better sense of how you would make a vampire.
Yeah, because it is essentially something that functions under a disease or virus like function.
Yeah, it's not going through the digestive system because I'm like, okay, I've accidentally eaten my own blood when I've bitten my lip too hard,
Yep.
and it's like that doesn't make me a vampire.
Infected by yourself. That sounds right.
That don't sound right.
Nah.
Yeah, but yeah, they totally did have a Plan B joke. I forgot about that.
They slipped in a lot of different jokes, which,
Some of them worked, some of them didn't.
yeah, it at least makes sense given, drag queens and the general humor.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, Michael
Yeah,
J. Fox was the right choice. I agree.
yeah. I think it's funny that at this period of time, like the 1984 1985 period of time for Michael J. Fox sounds exhausting because he was doing the Family Ties. I think Family
Mm-hmm.
Ties
Yeah, Family Ties.
series. He was in Teen Wolf and was a kind of sort of complaining about how he's got to be covered in like hair playing a dog. Meanwhile, Spielberg is down the street making a blockbuster.
Yeah. Interesting choices, though.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Overall, my opinion of Slay, since we kind of circled back, was, and I like the play on words for the title of the film too.
Yeah.
That was clever.
I appreciate that. The little winks and nods I think are pretty good
Mm-hmm.
there. I think as far as recent comparisons, as far as I wouldn't even really say tone, but LGBTQ horror movies are concerned, I would probably put this above they slash them, but they slash them is a pretty bland, basic bar to set.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, neither one did anything bad. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's a great film, but it doesn't do anything bad.
Yeah. I mean, there. I want to say the first one within that genre was produced by Shudder, or it was released to Shudder.
Or was it Hulu? Let me see. Where did this go? Specifically.
Oh, and then I discovered another film while I was done watching this one called Death Drop Gorgeous, and I'm like, okay, I know
Oh,
that's a Shangela reference.
yeah, I've heard of that one. I forget what exactly it's about, but there's that one. There's another one that I think came out this year that is kind of sorta in that same subgenre, or if you'll pardon the pun, vein.
Hmm.
That's also on Tubi. It showed up right after I watched Slay, and I believe it's supposed to be something unfollowed.
I want to say it sounds familiar. I think I saw that one around too.
Yeah, that's another one that people are here and there kind of talking about. Oh, they slash them was on Peacock, so it
Was it
wasn't Hulu.
Peacock? I thought it
Yeah,
was Amazon.
it probably got passed around a little bit, but I think it was originally on Peacock. I don't know if we would consider that an original for Peacock, but it was distributed there first.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
I don't know how distribution on
Licensing
streaming
bids and
service works.
whatnot.
Yeah, that was of
I think
course.
that's how it works. They put in bids for it.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I know some people who I'm sure could tell me explicitly how that works, and I will retain none of it. But I think that was during the time as well where everybody was doing the streaming because theaters were still like trying to clamor back to existence.
Hmm. I haven't been to the theater in years. The last movie I saw in theater was the Stephen King adapted film Boogeyman,
Oh, oh,
and it
I.
wasn't even worth coming out for. The movie wasn't that great.
That's kind of what I had heard. Um, a little bland, I suppose.
Hmm.
I think the last
I'll
time that I
I'll
was
just
in a
come out and
theater,
say it. The movie was caca.
well, can't have all good movies, I suppose. We just hope for some. Uh, I
I mean, for the
think,
people that enjoyed it, good for you. I mean, at least you
yeah,
got your money's worth.
I'm always glad, even if I'm not a fan of a movie or a large majority of people are saying that the movie's not good, I know that there's at least one person who thinks it's their favorite. So I'm glad for that,
Hmm.
at least. Even if I vehemently dislike a film, there's at least one person who likes it.
I haven't even seen the first film, Smile 2. I generally avoid trailers. I like to
Same.
blind watch stuff.
I haven't seen the trailer myself for the same reason, really, but I have seen the original Smile, and
Is it worth watching?
I think it's pretty good. It's not something to watch when you're having a bad day,
Ooh,
um,
okay.
but it is more. I think you would probably like it. It's more psychological in a way. Um,
Oh, okay. So maybe not necessarily a Delta 8 film.
Maybe not. It's sometimes it almost comes across as entity like,
Hmm.
which I guess technically it is. Think of it in the same vein as like it follows The Grudge, The Ring.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of in that subcategory.
Kind of like the subtle curse type thing, but you have to figure it out in order to get away from it.
Yes, it's literally part of the story of like, without spoiling anything, things are passed along, and that's how it survives and wreaks havoc.
It's mono, isn't
Mm.
it?
A literal curse. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what Marty says. It's kind of
Yeah,
like It Follows and Smile.
yeah, with creepy smiling. Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, the marketing campaign was fabulous.
No, I was interested in it when it was first out, and I never got around to watching it. The one that I'm really dying to see that I haven't gotten around to is I want to watch Pearl and X before I watch Maxine. I'm excited for that.
That would be a good idea. The only thing I'll say about those, I think they're both quite good. I'm hoping that Ty West is able to make a complete, interesting, and solid trilogy. But are you aware that Pearl is essentially a prequel?
Yes, I've been told.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I would still watch them in the order they were released because I'd
Yeah.
probably miss stuff.
I would recommend doing that anyway, just because again, Pearl is a prequel, but I think it's more helpful to watch X and then Pearl, just like how they were released.
Hmm. Well, yeah.
It makes
I
more
mean,
sense.
they were released that way for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I like Ty West. I'll watch just about anything he's made.
Hmm.
I didn't like The Innkeepers. That one I didn't care for. House of the Devil I loved.
I need to do more observing of his work. I didn't realize that some things I had heard of he had done. So
Hmm.
he's making a name for himself now.
Hopefully, in a good way. I mean, I haven't heard
Hopefully.
anything bad about him.
True, yes, there is a very important distinction. He's making a good, prominent name for himself in horror.
Hmm. We don't need another Weinstein.
Please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Another Weinstein or whoever did Jeepers Creepers.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Mm.
And I still haven't watched the film where it all started. The film that started. I don't want to say it because it didn't start the trouble, but the film where he was found out.
The film that made things clear.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I've seen the first, the second. I think it's. Nah, somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, there's some pretty clear things in Jeepers Creepers 2, I think.
Yeah,
But
somebody mentioned there's a lot of shirtless shots and
yeah, and just
things
how
like that.
the creeper like acts. It's almost like a projection. It's very weird.
Hmm.
Um, but I guess it's the third one that everybody was essentially saying I will not support because his name was still attached to that, and that's about the time where things were coming out.
Yeah. I mean, I would still enjoy the first, okay, because I didn't know at the time, but I would
Right.
still enjoy the first Jeepers Creepers because I think it's an enjoyable film.
Hmm.
Would I support any of his future work? No.
No. I mean, it's obviously a person to person basis, and I'm certainly not here judging one way or the other. I'm the kind of person who typically is able to separate certain people from the art, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And someone, probably several people, have phrased it as I understand not wanting to support this one or two people who are assholes who worked on this film, but what about everybody else? The actors, the crew, the
Mm-hmm.
writers, and
Yeah, it's unfair to
everybody.
them.
True, everybody really likes and holds a special place for Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, but that was consenting. That was not done under the rug. Okay, they left to a country where it is legal. They
mm,
returned once she was of age.
yeah,
Okay, so they did it. They went about it roundabout, but I mean, she consented to leaving the country. It's not, no one forced her.
true. I'm sure there's more history than I'm fully aware of, just as an example of like people who kind of mark as not good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it that way. There's different levels, different severities, but
Mm-hmm.
there's, I mean, the concept of some truly bad people who have made horror movies. I mean, I'll say it. Stanley Kubrick was not a great person.
No, I've heard how much, not too much, but yeah.
Yeah. So, you know,
But as far as I know, he didn't do any sleazeball things.
no, not like that. No, no. He was just maybe not the best when it comes to interacting with people.
Yes.
He knew how to make a film, yes, but as far as
Well,
the
he treated them that way in order to get the reaction on film that he wanted.
true, and unfortunately, the actors developed smoking habits. Probably not very good ones.
Yes. I wouldn't blame them.
No, back then, of course, that was considered a nice way to just soothe one's nerves.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I was told because I haven't researched it, but I've been told by my parents. Yeah, there was a time when doctors would prescribe cigarettes to their
Yeah,
patients.
yeah. There were times where the doctors would be smoking cigarettes in the hospitals.
Yes, I've seen
So,
that.
people watching The Exorcist now are going, that's the doctor smoking in there.
Yeah. I mean, everything's so different. I mean, even in college classes, students could smoke inside the class.
Mm,
You didn't have to leave campus if you were in high school to go smoke. You could smoke there on the property on the campus.
yeah. And now everybody's starting to realize that vaping is worse than smoking.
Oh, they jumped on that right away as soon as vaping became a thing. You
Yeah.
forgot all about bothering people about cigarettes. And honestly, yes, I do vape from time to time. I don't like having to stink, but I still won't lie. There's just nothing like a good cigar.
Yeah, I have heard, and again, I'm not here to be judging anything. I just don't smoke myself simply because I know that we have a very distinct sort of capacity with lungs and whatnot. It wouldn't be good to take one smoke.
Hmm.
Wouldn't be a very attractive thing.
Well, yeah.
There's good and bad in everything.
Not just that, but I mean, I should know better. I'm doing something very stupid because I have a genetic propensity for cancer in my family.
Uh,
And here I am smoking. Not habitually. I got better about that. And
mm,
yes, it was very hard. But I take breaks. It's not like something I'll do continuously. At one point, I would only smoke on weekends, which when I was had my addiction days to nicotine, that was not even possible.
mm,
But yeah, I've gotten to where I can just kind of duck in and out, and I'm fine.
yeah, that's good. I know they make they make cigarettes really a lot of things to be quite honest, but they make a lot of cigarettes to be addictive. So
Hmm.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
Just like with fast food, they know what they're doing.
Oh God.
The chicken
Let's
nuggets will never end.
Okay, I'll eat the chicken nuggets from McDonald's. I like their quarter pounders. Everything else go away.
Nah, their ice cream machine is always broken. This is
Yes.
why we go to DQ.
Yes. I'd rather get real ice cream.
Yes, get a McFlurry. I don't think so. I'm going to DQ for a blizzard. Thanks.
Yes. A McFlurry. At least well, there's the offshoot is you don't get the McDonald's people giving you a weird face as they turn it upside down.
That's fair. It's oddly not common that I will see someone from DQ actually do that.
Oh, I
So
see
whenever
it
they
around
do, it's like,
here.
oh,
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes they'll tell you apologetically afterward, I'm supposed to do that,
it's part of the
which tells
policy.
me which tells me you don't like it or it embarrasses you.
Fair. That's fair. I wouldn't exactly want to be tossing the chicken nuggets around to show people how well cooked they are on all sides.
Yeah.
It's performative according to the DQ gods.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's like let's see it melt a little bit and then turn it upside down and see what happens.
Slides right out onto the concrete.
Yes.
Somewhere there's a raccoon waiting behind the trash can who's very happy.
Yeah. I forget the affectionate name people give them.
Oh, trash
Dumpster.
pandas.
Yes.
The trash panda pack. You got your opossums. You got your raccoons.
Mm-hmm.
For other things, you might want to throw a lizard in there once in a while. Whatever rummages through the trash, essentially. It's fine. The lesser known cleaners, shall we say, of the natural world.
I don't know. I guess buzzards have more self-respect. I've never seen one in a dumpster before.
That's true. They're higher class than that, you know? They have their preferences.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing, though, for restaurants to not have a buzzard hanging out outside waiting for fries.
Yes, that does not give a good impression.
You want a double stacked cheeseburger? The buzzard's outside going, you want the double stacked cheeseburger?
I will say I find it interesting and I love it when it happens because it's so out of the ordinary. Like I would consider it surreal, not necessarily a liminal space, but when I see buzzards in a neighborhood eating like a dog or a cat that got run over,
Ooh. Wow,
I,
isn't this a lovely little suburban nightmare?
I love the sight of it. It's and I always tell myself the next time I see it, I'm going to take pictures. And then I walk up and it's kind of like they're looking at me like, don't even think about it. I'm like, okay,
Buzzards are not really known for being the most photogenic.
no, no, but they do give you that look like this is ours. Leave us alone.
You're not taking this. Don't worry, I don't want it.
I don't want it. I just want to get a snap of your mug.
This is for the Instagram, darling. Don't worry.
What's that phrase they used to say? Pics or it didn't happen.
Yeah. It only exists properly if we have photo proof. We will accept video.
Yeah. Video accepted. Batteries not required. Oh. Do we like singing? And if so, what is our favorite song to sing?
Oh, I believe it has been requested that I never sing.
I cannot hold a note. I sing for fun, mostly when people are not around.
That sounds about right, yes. I allow my Spotify to do the song enjoyment for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sing along to a song if I really enjoy it, but mostly it's in my head.
Yeah. And in all fairness, the songs that have any potential for my want to try to sing to them would be more, shall we say, metal.
Mm.
I don't think it would go too well.
No. I mean, like the one time I did sing, it's because I was recording the hymn to Lucifer and I had translated it to Latin.
Mm.
But even then, it's kind of, I don't consider it singing. It's more like intoning, which is still difficult to figure out how to do. Like you're trying to do like Dominus Sinata Dice, and you're still trying to get the syllables correct, but then you have to like stretch out your syllables to where they sound proper and even.
I will not even try.
It's work.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to intone. I've just never been able to figure it out.
I'm sure there's probably like courses, fucking YouTube videos of people showing how to do that.
Yeah, like little tricks, like do this when you're on this vowel or something.
Somebody's got to know how to do this.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think a priest is going to let me show up just to learn how to intone.
Excuse me, I have this very specific kind of stuff to learn how to do. Could you tell? Yeah, it mentions Satan. What? Come here.
Yeah.
Just tell me. Stop screaming. Tell
Come
me
here.
how to do this. Or leave.
I'll let you go if you just tell me.
Yeah, what? You got something better to do? Come on.
I'll even buy you some chicken nuggets. Nothing happens to you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. Just tell me how to do this.
Father, I brought chicken nuggets and a blizzard. If you wouldn't mind in exchange.
Yes. Knowledge is power, Father. Come on.
You said you wanted people to come back to the church. Here I am. Come on.
Mm-hmm. You didn't specify. That's on you.
Yeah. See, this is why we gotta be real specific with things now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, especially when you're conjuring something.
This is also true. Yes. You gotta be very specific when it comes to the pronunciation of the Latin words. Thank you.
That's actually not true. They don't care if you mispronounce. They just know they're
Oh.
being summoned.
Oh, well, bless them, they're forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
They understand we make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, the effort's there, the intention is there. That's what gets you through.
It's the thought that counts when it comes to summoning a demon.
Oh, singing in Latin, that must be quite a challenge. No, I mean, I would do it every single morning. So I got to the point to where I could do it normally. I just couldn't intone. But yeah, I mean, I would still have to look at the words because I had written them out phonetically so that I could pronounce them correctly.
Ah.
Like Dominus inata dice. Dice is actually spelled die,
Huh.
but I would write it DICE just to make sure I said it the way it's supposed to be said,
See, that makes sense there.
which means Lord of the Newborn Day, by the way.
Ha. Well, if anyone ever asks. Well, that sounds good.
You were leaning a little too much on something.
Oh, something shifted. Oh, I see. I see what it is. Oh. Hazards. Hazards of the workplace.
The what?
Hazards of the workplace.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say good thing I work from home. There was the one time I stretched back and I fell out of my chair, and I'm like, thank God no one was around to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just funny little stuff like that. But it's everyday life stuff. And it's true. You see it, and either you turn away and ignore it because you're not impressed, or you're one of those people that kind of suppresses a laugh.
Yeah. Either way, really. Perhaps some combination.
Yeah, those exist too.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems like we've hit an end to our conversation, unless there's anything else you can think of.
I don't think so. I think we covered the film pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very basic plot. They book a show at the wrong venue, a very wrong venue, a biker bar, and they decide to stay and put on the show because they need the money. And the guy's like, "Just stay. We don't have another show lined up." Truth is, he actually wanted to watch the show.
Yeah. He just
But
wanted them to be there.
it's a fun watch. And then of course, a stray vampire infects somebody else. The guy goes over there to the bar, and then that's when everything goes out the window.
Yep.
But yeah, don't make the mistake I made. I went into it thinking it was going to be like From Dusk Till Dawn with drag.
Yeah, it's a bit
It's
different
it's
than that.
it's very different from that. Oh, okay. Did you ever see that for hundreds of years Latin was written without any spaces between words like this?
Cool.
Hello, how are you? Then what? I don't have glasses. Sorry. Then it interpuncts were used. Hello, how are you? Okay.
Huh. Well, that makes it real easy.
It kind of sounds like writing in Hebrew or something, where they just kind of run stuff together and then they move on to the next phrase.
Yeah. Makes it real fun to try to figure that out.
Yeah. That was my water bottle, by the way, if you were wondering what was making that weird sound.
ASMR.
That's not really a thing anymore. I remember it being bigger like in the mid 2000s.
Everybody got really excited about it, and then, yeah,
Forgot.
kind of.
like the mid 2010s, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, they look like modern day bullet points.
Uh,
No, I haven't seen that, but I was using something that actually was in English, and I worked towards translating it into Latin.
okay. Well, it was the conversion process.
Yeah, the Sanskrit's a lot harder.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that one I have not figured out how to translate to English.
I I can't help you.
Yeah, I mean, like Om Namah Shivaya. I'm like, okay, I can write it the way it sounds to me, but I don't know if I'm writing it correctly.
Yeah.
And I probably just slaughtered the pronunciation right now anyway.
Well, if anybody knows.
But yeah, my 2 cents on Slay. It's a fun movie. You'll be entertained. Don't expect too much from it because you probably won't like it.
Yeah, if you're expecting
It's
something really really fun,
no, not really.
it's not exactly a wild ride.
No. And it doesn't have jump scares either. I just realized that.
Well, yeah, not really. Little things, but nothing like a proper jump scare.
We'll watch Slay tonight with Sanskrit subtitles.
Good luck.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, glad to have you back. Hope you enjoyed yourself and had fun.
Yeah. I'm glad to talk about some horror, of course.
Then we went into the horror of the modern day period,
Yeah, that's the same thing.
horrors that men have to face. No, it was a fun conversation. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hey, glad to be upon one's channel once again.
Yeah, no, I love having you on. I would definitely like to see if I can think of or find something else at another time.
Yeah.
You mentioned horror comedy, so I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how you feel about musicals. What would you think of Rockula?
Rockula. See, I've heard about that. I've seen little pieces from it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not opposed to musicals.
To me, the weirdest part is that Tony Basil is in it.
Huh. Well, she's popped up in a few little places when it comes to horror. She was in a film that I kind of like, which is Slaughterhouse Rock.
I haven't seen that.
It's bizarre. Doesn't make
So
a
it
whole lot
sounds
of
like
sense.
something I would watch.
Eh, it's fun. It's like I said, a bizarre little thing that for some reason I went, oh, it's not bad.
Yeah. If I remember, I'll look it up. I'm kind of curious about going back and watching Death Drop Gorgeous, and I'm like,
Mm.
if it's going to be about the same type of comedy as Slay, I probably will check out. Okay, you'll see them used the SPQR, which means I'm not going to try because I'm not wearing glasses. My dog ate my glasses.
Oh,
So now I'm trying to figure out how am I going to buy new glasses.
yeah.
Okay, so it means the Senate and the Roman people. Oh, Slipknot liked Slaughterhouse Rock.
Yeah. It's an 80s film. One of those that like to incorporate rock music and horror.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of it.
It's got music from Devo.
Ooh, that should be reason enough. They're interesting. They're
True.
interesting guys.
Yes. Interesting headwear.
That too.
Yeah.
Oh, and what was it? I think they took that inspiration from the villain from Barbarella.
Huh.
I think he's the one who wore the helmet. No, I'm thinking Duran Duran. They took inspiration from the villain's name.
Oh, okay.
The acting isn't great, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah, yeah. One of those that's maybe B horror kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's totally something I would watch then. I love B flicks. The sillier the better.
They can be fun.
Yeah, they definitely can. But yeah, I can't think of any closing statements on Slay other than it's one of those you might like it, you might not like it. It just depends on if it's your type of humor or what type of mood you might be in when you watch it.
Yeah, I think the taste and tone and humor is what could be a big deciding factor.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's about it. It's a very basic plot. I mean, we pretty much described described it without, even though we did drop a few
Yeah, a
spoilers
few
here
little
and there.
spoilers. Yeah. Little things, little things.
Hope you see Slaughterhouse Rock. Yeah, if I remember, I'll check it out or I'll put it on my watch list. Yeah, I mean it kind of sounds very similar to Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock. What
Yeah,
was that
that's.
movie? The one with the Ramones. I'm saying it wrong.
Oh, that's a different one.
Rock and Roll High
Um,
School.
could be, yeah. Yeah.
But alrighty, I guess that is all for me. Unless you had anything you wanted to add.
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty, so I'll need to see when I can get the next stream set up. I know I've gotten kind of slack about that, but I do want to get back into a regular schedule. But do you have any upcoming projects you wanted to promote?
Oh, I'm afraid I've fallen a bit behind on things. I was aiming to do some reviews for LGBTQ horror movies, but
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know what I'll be able to do. We're headed towards the last portion of the month, I'm afraid. I kind of put up a community post
Mm-hmm.
explaining a little bit in vague details, essentially, about how I am working on something that would be perhaps considered a relatively large venture, and I'm hoping that if that works out, that would mean some very fun content for the channel that'll be a bit different. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll just say things are in the works constantly. Unfortunately, the schedule has been absolutely fucked, but we are working on things. I just can't promise anything in the immediate future just yet.
Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I was thinking of getting into doing shorts just because they're quick and easy. Well, let me take that back because it's not always true.
Yeah,
It seems like it's something I can do on my schedule right now since I don't have time to fully sit down and record film reviews the way I used to.
yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe I can get into short form reviews and I can still release content that way because I know there are some people out there who are saying they miss the film reviews.
Uh, well, it's. I've seen some people do something like that, so I think it could work.
It might. I don't know. I'll give it a try and see how it goes. Don't know unless you try.
This is true.
But alrighty, guys, that is all that I have for you guys for today, and I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah.